Greetings, welcome to my first Tai Chi instructional video. I will be teaching some warm-ups to prepare to do Tai Chi, as well as some cool downs that are very important to do after any time you practice. One thing or multiple things to be aware of: Tai Chi is an exercise program. Tai Chi is a martial art. You must ensure that you are of good enough health that you're not going to hurt yourself in doing this. I will also give pointers as we go throughout to help prevent any injuries that may occur. If things begin to hurt, now we're not talking just a little bit of popping from feeling chi. We're not talking about muscles getting tired from exercise. But if things distinctly begin to feel pain, it is important to stop and address that pain so as not to injure oneself. The first things you need to understand to help avoid injury is your knees. Knees are very important in everything we do in life, and you will find that many people, as they go through life, end up needing knee surgery. Some of the exercises we're going to show are going to help prevent that, are going to strengthen your knees. But it is very important to also protect your knees. This is even stuff that even outside of Tai Chi you should be aware of. You do not want your kneecap to go in front of your big toe, your toes. There's a few exceptions in certain moves, but when you are putting pressure on your leg, moving it too far down puts an inordinate amount of pressure on the knee. So for most cases, you want it as if you were looking down and forming a line, or higher up where it's even not getting close to those toes, in order to help protect the knee. Additionally, another way that people end up hurting the knee is by torquing the knee, okay? Always, 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 when you turn your knee, knees aren't designed to turn very far. What you want to do is the knee and the toe should always be facing the same direction. Turn at the hip so that your leg, even if you have pressure on the knee, you can turn the whole leg at the hip. Okay, you can turn the whole leg at the hip. Many people, when they move around, will turn just one, like so. As you can see, the foot is not truly supporting the knee like this. This is bad. This can lead to torquing the knee. This can lead to knee damage. Always keep your knees facing your toes. The next major joint to worry about is the shoulder. This in societies where they have to deal with it with surgery or other physical therapy, is often at the shoulder. It's very important to keep your shoulders moving, keep your shoulders relaxed. You'll find that even just sitting at a computer and typing, you can feel your shoulders tightening up. Throughout the day, the shoulder warm-ups that I show, it is useful to do those throughout the day. It is useful to allow those to continually stay in motion periodically. Get them moving so that your shoulders don't lock up. It keeps the shoulders nice and strong. So we're going to start out. You want your feet about shoulder width apart. If you're not sure what shoulder width apart is, just jump up and down a couple times like this, and your legs, your feet will automatically come out to shoulder width apart. So if you're dropping your hands down straight, about midway down the thigh, your hands will come in contact with your legs. And this is shoulder width apart. And you want your feet in parallel lines at this point for warm-up. The first thing we're gonna do is, as I mentioned, we gotta keep those shoulders moving. So the first warm-up is the shoulder rotation. As you can see, I'm letting my shoulders go all the way up to comfort, all the way forward so that my chest forms a giant bow shape, all the way down, all the way back, all the way up. okay? And then you slowly move between those positions. And you also are going to slowly move backwards to the rear on those positions. Then we're now going to worry about the neck, and we'll come back to the shoulders. To rotate the neck, try to start and stretch the neck so your chin comes all the way down to your chest. Then your ear, like you're almost pushing your ear toward your shoulder. And then to the back, where you're almost looking straight up. And then to the opposite shoulder. Now you do very slow rotations with this. Okay. You may hear popping between the bones as synovial fluid is moved around. You're going to go both directions. Keep in mind, if you have ever had neck surgery, you must be very careful with this exercise. In fact, many people that have had neck surgery find they can't do it or find that it's easier just to stretch the 4 points that I've shown you rather than doing an entire rotational exercise. Now we go back to those shoulders, and then we're going to do the same shoulder rotation we previously done. And then we're going to incorporate the arms as they make a big, slow circle all the way around the body. And we go both directions. It is important to do each direction at least 3 times in each direction, but sometimes doing it 5 or 8. Do it until your muscles feel relaxed. Now for the hips. The hips will go forward, much like you're doing a thrust forward. To the side, notice the weight has gone to this hip and is empty on this other hip. To the back, notice I'm not leaning all the way forward, I'm just pushed back a little bit to the other hip. And slowly do rotations that way. Now we'd also want to do our knees and our ankles. Put your hands on your knees, but you're not putting too much weight, just a little bit to hold your hands in place. And then your hands go to the sides of your knees. Your knees go together, your feet go together. This is to keep your knees from going too far to either side. Now, doing the same rotation that you did with the hips, although when you go back, your legs will go straight in a stretch formation. And you want to do it at least 3 times per side. And then the ankles, because we'll be using the ankles. Put the toe or the pad of the foot down. Almost no weight on that foot. And you do rotations. As you can see, my whole leg is moving back around in one circle. And likewise, the other direction. All right. While there's other warm-up exercises, I will show those on a later video. The next part we're going to do is a Qigong, a series of Qigong. Qigong literally means energy exercise. These Qigong are based on the mythical Monkey King, who was written up in a novel, Journey to the West, over roughly 500 years ago. The Monkey King was quite naughty, and so he was taken by the immortals into heaven and given a job to watch all the horses. At some point, he decided that job was really just kind of a make-believe job to keep him from getting in trouble. So he decided he was going to get in trouble. The first thing he did is he went into the orchard and stole all of the magic peaches that gives the immortals immortal life. So, your hands down, you reach up with one hand. Notice I'm going onto the opposite leg, and I'm stretching the entire side of my body. The arm here on the right-hand side is going up. My toe is pushing to the ground, but there's virtually no weight on it, okay? And I steal a peach, and I bring it down. And I do the other side, and I steal a peach, and I bring it down. Now we're going to do each of these 3 times, but you at any point can pause the video and practice these yourselves, right? Just like now, the peaches, some have fallen on the ground and we're going to retrieve them. This is not entirely a stretch of the lower back. You're going to slightly bend that opposite knee, and it is not rather doing the hamstring. It is a stretch of the lower back. So when you grab something, you'll notice I'm twisting over my lower back, and everything is getting that twist, particularly between the opposite hip. And I grab a peach and bring it up. We're gonna do that on both sides. And bring it up. And bring it up. And bring it up. Also, by bending the knee a little bit, if you suffer from blood pressure issues, especially high blood pressure, sometimes this movement of immediately standing will cause you to feel faint. That is why, another reason why we bend our knee and then we slowly bring it up. Slowly exercise and slowly bring up the knee and the head so that you won't feel faint. You can slow these exercises as much as you need. Now the Monkey King went into the temple, and in China they have big bells that have to be rotated. You're going to be shifting your weight back and forth between your hips. The idea is your hips are going to stay the same height. So you can notice that my knee bends on this side, it straightens on this side. And to move back and forth, really the side that you're coming from, kind of kick off and then just let the hips flow back and forth. And while doing that, you're going to be spinning the bell. To the right-hand side, you will go clockwise. To the left-hand side, you'll go counterclockwise. And you'll be doing these at the same time, like so. And it all happens as one movement. Your hands will be doing this movement, but down flat at roughly waist level. The final Qigong is the Monkey King then stole all of the wine, okay? And this will get you used to eventual meditation, some of the various meditation that I will also instruct, but not in this video. He has a big wine cask, and they're big pieces of pottery. And so if he pushes too hard, the round pottery will pop out, but he must push it with enough strength to actually hold it. And it's too large to hold all the way around. So imagine that there's lines of energy between each of the fingers. And then we're doing the same back and forth as the Monkey King staggers around with the great big container of wine to still it. And then we relax. These warm-ups will start getting your body ready to practice the Tai Chi form itself. And in later videos, I will cover additional warm-ups and additional Qigong that will assist in your Tai Chi learning. Now, at the close of every Qigong or Tai Chi event, and Tai Chi is a type of Qigong, but not all Qigong are Tai Chi. You're going to want to clear the Qi, to get it balanced, get the energy balanced in your system. In Chinese medicine, they talk about the Qi channels. It's a holistic approach to things that even Western medicine utilizes. For example, there's Qi channels for the nerve system and for the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary system and the digestive systems. All of these things go together and are treated holistically in traditional Chinese medicine and Eastern medicine. Western medicine looks at each separate, but the movement of Qi in the body still is something that occurs, just Western medicine doesn't look at it the same way. Now, to clear the channels, it's quite easy. Just relax and sink a little bit on your knees, okay, with your hands low. And there's two ways this will happen, okay? The first is you breathe in and you bring your hands up like this. And then, like you're flicking moisture away, or like you're doing a breaststroke in swimming, and you breathe out. Nice and slow though. Okay, and you sink as you're coming down. And then you're gonna rise as you breathe in. And imagine you're taking in energy from the ground and flicking it out to the heavens. And then coming down to the ground, gathering up the energy, pulling it back up to the sky, and breathing out. Now that we switch to the other one, it's the same movement, but we're switching up the breathing, okay? So we're breathing out while we come up, and in while we sink down, okay? And this is the exact opposite way. We're imagining that we're pulling in energy now from the sky and leaving it behind in the ground. And this will allow your body's systems to kind of regulate and everything move comfortably. Because otherwise, if energy or chi gets stuck in one place for too long, it can cause soreness and it can actually cause damage. This is a type of cool down that you must do. I would also suggest doing it even after like heavy weightlifting or other types of exercise that may not be directly qigong. Any heavy exercise is a good cool down to do at the very end of your other cool down things. Thank you for joining me on this part of our videos.